So the first hand I saw raised is Councilmember Daugs.
Thank you, Council President. I am all for finding a solution to help low affordable housing. Our city goals for 2018, we as a group, as a body, put this together. Quality, affordable housing, rental housing safety program, establish stronger connection with Bremerton Housing Authority, explore opportunities with other stakeholders, develop a coordinated countywide response to homelessness issues by working closely with the county and various jurisdictions. So with that in mind, I want to thank all of you for speaking today. I've kept a tally of who's for this MFT exemption, removing the 8-year, and I've counted a tally of those who are not. The one thing I do like about this new MFTE, if we choose to move that forward, is we're recognizing Bremerton's area medium income versus the county. Bremerton's is definitely a lower medium income versus our county, so I'm glad we're recognizing the medium income for Bremerton. But we can't ignore that we have a homeless population in Bremerton. The fact that we have a Salvation Army that opens a shelter, the fact that we have a rescue mission in the city of Bremerton is proof that we have a strong need of low affordable housing in Bremerton. Families are being, I do not want to see families being displaced. I do not want to see gentrification happening because of this growth and moving other people out of our city. Spyglass, thank you for what you're doing. You're offering great amenities to those who rent there. But I want to speak up for the families who has kids at Mountain View Middle School who are sleeping in their cars, who do not get an opportunity to do yoga with their apartment people. For those veterans who live in tents in our community. For those 60-year-olds who are homeless, people like your grandmother, your grandfather, who are living in the backyards of our neighborhood. They struggle to make ends meet. They rely on Salvation Army for meals as temporary shelter. I'm speaking to make sure that these individuals have a voice at that table as well. Granted, thank you for all those who are developing in our city. But as someone said earlier, growth is happening. Yes, it's happening. And as long as growth happening, we're going to have developers coming as well. It's happened before we had these incentives, and it's going to still happen because the need is there. Mr. Henderson talked about the Harborside Garage. Granted, that was a fake model of future apartments, but I see it as a garage right now. And so the question that pops in my head, who's living in there? Maybe our homeless community. I am not against development in our city. I live in District 2, and my district is Wheaton Way Corridor, and it's one of the districts that needs development. I also have the same district that has Harrison Hospital. It's leaving our area. So we have a lot of vacant buildings. I am all for development, but I'm also for that family that's living in their car. I'm also for the one that's struggling to make ends meet, that's sleeping on a couch because they have no home. These are true stories. These are true families that live in our community. I work at Mountain View Middle School, and of that population of 900 students, I would say 1% is homeless. That's not much, no, but when you think of a family of 6, that's a lot of kids. And like earlier, they were talking about Maslow's hierarchy. In order to thrive, you have to have food and you have to have shelter. Those students that are living in their car, how are they thriving? So for all you guys who are doing well, thank you. But remember, this is still a community that homeless is on a growth pattern. By Mr. Weiss speaking, by Mr. Daugs speaking on Habitat for Humanity, by me working at a middle school and seeing that our population of students is free and reduced students, something needs to be said about the homeless population. Granted, not everybody's going to speak up like this. I'm probably going to be that rare species that's going to be the bold one that says, we don't need developers on the behalf of our citizens. We don't need developers if it means we're pushing and gentrifying people out of our community. I, too, am a born and raised Bremerton. I've seen the city grow, and I love where it's going. But I also have seen our homeless population. They've grown in numbers. As we are pushing and making more apartments and more expensive places to live, we're pushing people out. The lowest income rent in Bremerton is $900 a month. One person that's on low income is making $700 a month. How are they even to pay $900 in rent? Thus, living homelessly. How are they going to feed their families? How are they going to clothe their families? Again, I am all for growth, but we as a city, we as a council, we as a body need to represent the voices that's not here today to speak. The voices that are living behind our homes, under those blue tarps, in those abandoned motorhome vehicles and parking lots. Yes, we see them. Don't deny the fact it's here in our city. Don't walk away that it's happening. These are human beings. These are people with children. These are your grandfathers. These are our veterans. We must do something. If it means moving this MFTE so that it's benefiting our low-income families for the 12 years and promising them a roof over their head, and then at least ensuring them if they're getting pushed out, that there's a possibility that they're going to have another place to live, then yes, we need to do something. If this is the solution, then that's the solution. I don't know what we're going to make up and decide. We all think differently, but we definitely need not to forget what's happening in our neighborhood, what's behind closed doors, what's behind our houses, in the bushes, with tarps, with tents and trailers in the parking lots. Salvation Army for the winter season this past year was at capacity for temporary shelter. 90 individuals. Their capacity level is 45. Rescue mission. Yes, you see them in our streets because they have nowhere else to go. So we, as a body, definitely have work ahead of us. But we cannot forget those folks that I'm speaking on behalf. We're all going to leave here today to roof, maybe, I don't know, your situation, to a nice, comfy condo on the waterfront. But then your neighbors, thank goodness the weather's nice, can sleep outside without a roof. They have kids. They have to make sure that they're going to be with a roof. So please continue to speak up to us. Continue to share those stories because those stories are real in our community. They're getting pushed out of Seattle. They're getting pushed out of other various places that they can't afford. And some are landing in Bremerton. But we have to remember, we have to fix our community, and that means our neighbors right next to us. So thank you for all the things you're doing with Spyglass and all the great things that you're doing in our community for the developers. But we're not doing enough. Thank you, Council President. I think I've shared my input.
Thank you, Councilmember Daugs. Councilmember Hill.